Hey, it's Keith Townsend, principal of the CTO Advisor, and welcome to the sponsored episode of the CTO Dose. We have Clive DeSosa, who is a returning guest. Clive, back to the program.
Good to be back, Keith.
So it's been about a year since we did our VMware Cloud Bake Off. I don't know if Bake Off is a fair uh, description because we didn't pick a winner. We kind of educated the market around the overall landscape of the various VMware cloud solutions. And Oracle sponsored that piece. You manage that solution. You're the general manager and senior director of the VMware Cloud solution or VMware solution for the Oracle Cloud VMware solution. Tell me, what's the update since we ran our report?
We've been busy, the engineers have been busy, and what we have done, if you recall, we launched our initial OCVS version with 6.5 and 6.7 support for the ESXi vSphere. What we have now done, and in fact, we were the first cloud to actually support the vSphere 7.0 with Service Pack 200. Additionally, what we have done is we've gone and optimized our operational mechanisms. When we launched the solution in August of last year, customers needed roughly about a little under 3 hours to put a initial software defined data center with 3 nodes. With the optimization, we have shrunk that now to close to 2 hours, and we are well on our path to go and further shrink that by another 50%. We have also taken our time taken to add a new node to an existing data center, software-defined data center, and we have shrunk that by 25%. So from an overall user experience perspective, for a customer to add a new node or to instantiate a new software-defined data center, we have brought the time down 33% and 25% respectively. We've also gone ahead and now supported HCX Enterprise for customers who want to do bulk migrations. If HCX standard comes as part of our VMware Cloud Foundation, but we now support HCX as an out-of-box experience. It's literally a checkbox, and HCX gets instantiated for the customers in the tenancies. We have also done our preview Tanzu, and we support that in preview mode, and we're one of the launch partners with VMware. And the thing is, as we look at the roadmap, we have more and more architectures being implemented. We talked about Ice Lake. We're also looking at offering different variations and combinations. So a lot more is going to happen in this space. So we're pretty excited about what's coming down the road here.
So, Clive, what else is new since the past year?
It's as you rightfully said, it's been a year and it's been very eventful. We have gone mainstream. We GA'd the solution, and we have a very healthy customer uptake. We have large enterprises such as Rumo Logistics who have deployed their entire data center migrations onto OCI. We also had one of the largest telephony providers, Telefonica Italia Mobile in Brazil, was shutting down the data centers and moving all their on-prem virtualized workloads on to Oracle Cloud VMware solution. So we're definitely seeing the large enterprises adopt and start gravitating towards our second generation cloud. So it's been good. So we're seeing a very positive interest, and we have tens of customers in multiple dozens right now, to be honest. And we have workloads which are in a few thousands which are being deployed globally all over the world. So we're seeing uptick all over the world right now.
So that big customer focus, and when we talked last, we talked about 56 cores in a single platform, big Intel footprint for each individual bare metal workload. How have customers reacted to this? Let's give them these super powerful, super big workloads compared to some of the other solutions on the market.
You know, the customers are actually reacting really well to this. What we are finding in most of the on-prem workloads, especially when you move from an on-prem data center, there is a level of consolidation. Right sizing happens in terms of the actual workloads moving to the cloud. The other inherent native benefit is because we use an X7, which is an Intel's Xeon processor, from our native fleet. It's not a custom shape just for the VMware solution like some of the other clouds do. It comes from a native fleet. The fleet management becomes super easy for them. And we are also finding that the number of nodes being a customer needs to manage in the software-defined data center, it gets simplified because you're seeing consolidation from an on-prem where they have a hodgepodge collection of different node configuration, different sizes. They all get consolidated, and the overall management, the whole orchestration, is becoming a lot simpler for the customers. So from that perspective, selecting the 52 core Xeon CPU with the NVMe attached to it, in many ways, it's shaping up to be the right decision, and we're seeing customers actually warm up to that.
So thanks for correcting me. 52 cores versus 56. Four extra cores matter. On that topic of Intel big CPUs, talk to me about this relationship. You guys specifically seem to have doubled down on the Intel relationship. Tell me about the importance of the Oracle Cloud and Intel relationship, especially as it pertains to VMware customers.
So if you look at pretty much any large enterprise today, and if you look at the technology stack, VMware, Oracle, Intel, there seem to be a common repeating thread. So in many instances, what we are finding is large enterprises have optimized the VMware instantiations in addition to the other deployments for very unique Intel offerings. And the way we offer our Oracle Cloud VMware solution, it's a bare metal solution. So we literally give access from the ESXi operating system host to anything native. So customers can pretty much whatever they need, whatever Intel allows, we let them do that. So that level of granularity, not many cloud vendors can do. The second is because we give them the complete access to the bare metal, customers have full control of the level of performance and the scale they can get. Keep in mind, we are not over provisioning. We don't give them a slice of the CPU or a slice of a VM. That whole node is dedicated to that. So for customers, when they move, they're moving their tool set, they're moving their policies which they have hardened on Intel, on-prem or hybrid, whatever you, and they convey it. They convey as is with very very minor tweaks. Right, literally they can take an on-prem implementation, point it to the cloud, use vMotion, and the whole environment ports over. And literally the focus then becomes I move the workload that is literally the least amount of my concerns. I'm going to focus now more on innovating. Customers, we see customers come in, use the VMware implementations, they stabilize the migration, and they start deploying high performance compute nodes. They're starting to deploy autonomous databases. They started to deploy more cloud native services, right? So we're seeing more of that happening. So in many ways, that migration is predicated based on their familiarity with the Intel architecture which they had on-prem, and now they know that they don't have to go and literally go down in the stack and tweak more things because something changed on that. So we give them that ability that nothing changed. It's just VMware, like we say, it's just VMware which was on-prem. It's not moved to the cloud. So it's resonating really well with the customers.
So I got two things out of that I really want to dive into. The first is we had Rebecca Weekly, who is in charge of the hyperscaler relationships, so you know her well. And when I challenged her on how do we expose, or as customers, how do we leverage third generation Xeon Scalable processors in the public cloud, she specifically pointed to ISVs such as VMware and the cloud providers as a key component to leveraging Ice Lake, the code name for the third generation Xeon Scalable processors. What are customers, and not just customers, what is your team excited about when it comes to Ice Lake and OCVS, Oracle Cloud VMware solution?
Well, strictly speaking, from what Ice Lake brings, right? We are seeing the performance uptake. We are seeing how they've done the hyperscaling and hyperthreading on that. And candidly, we have Ice Lake in the labs. So we are playing with it. So watch the space very closely. Very soon we will give you an update on where we're headed with that. So coming back to when you look at the way the cloud workloads are designed and the way Ice Lake's architecture has been designed, they have dedicated cores. Core pinning is not becoming possible, and they can actually dedicate very specific compute cycles based on what VMware workloads are. When we talk to our customers, what we are hearing more and more often is this whole construct of right sizing the workload. when they're moving from an on-prem where they have a combination, and sometimes they even have mixed architectures where they want to consolidate. Ice Lake in combination with OCBS will give them that. We can actually reduce the total cost of ownership for a customer where they have a disparate set of cores. Keep in mind, VMware has a licensing mechanism based on number of cores. We can consolidate the cores. We can have the dense IO, and because the way we design the entire architecture, you can take multiple disparate architectures, multiple disparate workloads you have in different data centers, different implementation, even a hybrid cloud, and consolidate all of them into one fully customer controlled and customer managed software defined data center in OCI. So that level of being able to consolidate at the same time, get the best performance for the price is very appealing to customers, especially when they're trying to consolidate their data centers. And that's one aspect of it. The second aspect I mentioned is because it's all standardized on Intel, their mechanisms, all their governance, the enforcement, the policies, everything conveys and stays. So them having to re-architect their migration journey to the cloud is very minimal. They focus more on doing other things. So that is where we are seeing the customer getting excited about, and more so the performance is higher, right? Especially when we reduce the number of nodes, the level of performance is very visible in a NSXT and vSAN. People see it. Customers are seeing it. They can actually drive high level of throughput through multi-threading. We actually see the vSAN actually giving more in terms of throughput.
And then from a uh, current Oracle VMware Cloud or current Oracle Cloud VMware solution customer perspective, that's still a mouthful full to say. If I
We
want
use OCV.
OCVS, if I'm an
That's right.
OCVS customer and I want to migrate from the current platform to new workloads with the Xeon, with these third generation Xeon scalable processors, sounds like this is just I can pick my solution. I can stand up another close cluster and just do a vMotion. It's VMware vSphere underneath.
That's right. Literally is. And you can mix and match them. You want to get the Broadwell DE part or you want to get a nice lake part, depending upon what your workloads you want to do for that specific node, or you want to do workloads which are very unique to a specific instantiation of Intel CPUs. You can mix and match that. We're going to allow that. In your software defined data center, your nodes can have different configuration. So we are heading down that way. Again, the key point, Keith, here is what we heard from customers is there is a level of flexibility they have. They're not looking for a complete homogeneity in, it needs to be only a Broadwell part or only an ice part. The total cost of ownership or the economics come in. So we realized that. So we said, you know what? As long as you are able to get a node into the software defined data center here, we will allow that. We allow you to merge different versions of VMware at the same time, change up on the underlying Intel CPUs. We allow customers to do that.
Clive, thanks a lot for joining the program. If you want to find out more about the Oracle and Intel relationship, click the link associated with this video. You want to find out more about the CTO Advisor and download the report that we did with Oracle or sponsored by Oracle. You can find that report by going to thectoadvisor.com and clicking on the project button, and you'll find that Oracle report and list of various proof of concepts we've partnered with various enterprise IT vendors to do in the CTO Advisor hybrid infrastructure. Until the next CTO dose, you can follow me on the web at CTO Advisor on Twitter. DMs are open. Challenge anything that Clive has said or anything that I've said. I'd love to have the conversation with you about your hybrid IT infrastructure needs. Talk to you next CTO dose.